Good evening from Washington, D.C., and thank you to those of you joining us from around the world for news from a Catholic perspective. I'm Lauren Ashburn. President Trump responds to North Korea's nuclear threats, saying the U.S. isn't backing down. But there are some signs of progress. After 2 years of silence, the North Korean dictator is reaching out to U.S. ally South Korea. White House correspondent Mark Irons reports. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Lauren. President Trump says perhaps it's a good sign that Kim Jong-un is reopening the lines of communication with South Korea. But the president also promises with the push of a button, the U.S. can unleash superior nuclear weapons. Meanwhile, Catholic leaders are pushing for nuclear disarmament across the globe.
Even in war, even if the worst happens, we still are capable of behaving morally.
Associate Professor Marianne Love at the Catholic University of America is an expert on the Catholic teaching of just war.
The just war tradition is really kind of the extreme emergency condition. If all else fails and you have to protect innocence and innocent life, then you might be able to use it.
In November, she met Pope Francis while attending a Vatican summit that encouraged world leaders to disarm their nuclear weapons.
There are certain types of weapons that are always off the table.
After a 2017 filled with missile tests and nuclear threats, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un said he's willing to send a delegation to next month's Olympics in South Korea. And today, on his orders, North Korea reopened a phone hotline with the South. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley says it's not enough.
North Korea can talk with anyone they want, but the U.S. is not going to recognize it or acknowledge it until they agree to ban the nuclear weapons that they have.
Kim Jong-un now claims he has a nuclear button on his desk and that all U.S. territory is within striking distance of his weapons. President Trump responds, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un just stated that the nuclear button is on his desk at all times. Will someone from his depleted and food-starved regime please inform him that I too have a nuclear button, but it is a much bigger and more powerful one than his, and my button works. Marianne Love says avoiding nuclear war should be everyone's priority.
So Pope Francis and the Church is urging us, there's got to be a better way.
Associate Professor Love says this isn't the first time the U.S. has faced an enemy with nuclear weapons, but she says America should use diplomacy, economic sanctions, and international pressure against North Korea rather than military force. Lauren.
Late this afternoon, former Vice President Joe Biden criticized President Trump. Tell us what he said.
Biden blasts President Trump's tweet saying they're not presidential and this is not a game, while Trump has said the Obama administration didn't do enough to stop this problem in the first place.
White House correspondent Mark Irons, thank you.